welcome to your turn. We're at the Coleraine Bowl with the Senior Olympics competing in the bowling match. There are 36 lanes and every lane is filled. With me I have Diane Luftig from the Council on Aging and Professor Klenke from UC, who they have worked hard to coordinate all of these events. Diane, are you glad it's almost over?
Oh, I don't know if I can say that I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad that it has been going so very, very well.
What was the increase in this year's participants over last year?
Well, last year we had 498 people register, and this year I'm very proud to tell you that we had 653.
Oh, isn't that marvelous? And next year you hope for more?
Next year we hope to have an increase of even more if we can get the financial sponsorship that we need, which we don't have a commitment for yet.
Well, we'll have to work on that. Professor Klenke, you have now, your events have increased, right, since last year?
Yes. This year, Shar, we've added 2 events, namely billiards, which was 8-ball billiards, as well as the, help me, Diane, the volleyball. That's our first team sport that we've had. That was real successful. We had 5 men's teams, and we've had 2 women's teams in the team sport category. Next year, we hope to add more sports, namely badminton, as well as softball. So we're growing every year.
Well, that's wonderful. You two have done such a marvelous job, and just watching you all week, it's amazing. You've been on the go every day since April 19th, is it?
That's right, Shar.
Well, we certainly are happy to be a part of this and look forward to next year and look forward to a new sponsor. And again, my congratulations on the great job you've all done.
Thank you very much, Shar. It's a pleasure.
Oh, Professor Klenke, isn't it great to see these people? Their agility, their bodies are like young people's bodies out there. They're so good, aren't they?
They're excellent, Shar. And when you think some of these are in their late 80s, and our oldest one here will be over 90, Mr. Minor Schmidt, and such a handsome, active man. It's just a thrill to watch him participate.
The scoring is by age category, is it?
Yes. The age grouping is 55 through whatever. And they're in groups 55, 59, 60, 64, 65, 69, 70, 74, 75, 79, 80, 84, 85, 89, and then all over 90 go in the same score in the same grouping. When we started this 9 years ago, 80 and up was our highest age grouping, and we had so many in the late 80s that we decided that, well, we'd make scoring groups for them too. So we're now into the 90 plus, and I'm waiting for the day to go into the 100 plus.
No kidding. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, that's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it's just tremendous. Now, this alley here, Coleraine Bowl, they have 36 alleys, and what we're watching now is 144 people on these alleys. There's 4 of them assigned to a lane. They don't need to be in the same age categories on the lanes. They're bowling with their friends or their neighbors, and their scores will be taken and figured in their own age categories.
That's how it's done.
And you'll see quite a number of scores in the high hundreds, 180, 190, quite a number in the 200s, and their series will be in the 500, 600 levels, so it's just a real thrill to see these people.
They're each
playing 3 games today.
Each will bowl 3 games, right? And they rotate alleys. For instance, if they're on alley, we're watching 21 and 22, and you'll see them go from one alley to the next alley and then back to their own alley. They're keeping their own scores, and their scores will be turned in at the end of their games, of their matches.
Oh, they each are responsible for their own scores.
Yeah, and the 2 of them at the table, they check out each other's scores. Now we'll have another flight in this afternoon, and it'll be 144 too. We'll have all the alleys filled.
Oh, that's wonderful. And one thing about the Coleraine Bowl, everyone has that I've seen, they have been so gracious.
Oh, they're just real fine people to work with, and we just appreciate being here. And I think they appreciate having us here. You'll notice the fellas and the women too in the yellow shirts, and that's all given to the seniors when they enroll. And you'll notice the people who are wearing the green shirts with the yellow lettering. Now those are all volunteers, and you'll see a lot more of the green and yellow shirts tomorrow with the track and field.
This one has a nice delivery, hasn't it?
Isn't it excellent? The strike on that one.
Let's see if you can pick up this.
Watch it now. There he is.
Isn't that good?
He got the sparrow. And some of these people, Shar, are even handicapped people. The gentleman you're watching now has a vision problem, and you'll notice as he bowls, he'll turn to his left ear is toward the pins, so he can hear really how many pins go down.
Isn't that remarkable?
This gentleman, truly, he's a remarkable gentleman. He's legally blind. And the woman bowling on his alley also has a vision problem. And it's just fine to see them out here bowling. Now watch the gentleman again. Notice how he turns, and he'll listen for his pins to go down. I think what he got there, he got a split on that one, didn't he? Now he'll come over to the next alley, and Bull has, this is the other lady who is partially sighted.
She's got a hook.
She surely does. Oh, she got some.
Great. Just the fact that they're out there doing this, I think is great.
And many of them with real severe handicap, many with heart problems, and many who have had strokes, who have had vision problems, hearing problems, and to see them participate like this is a tremendous opportunity for people.
But, the nice thing about this, they're all having such a nice time.
I know. The friendships that are made are fun to see.
I bet each year they are so happy to see one another.
Oh, they are. They look forward to the Olympics so that they can renew their old friends.
Well, this has certainly been fun watching these people and talking with you here. Maybe
I was hoping the vision fellow would come up again, but guess he'll be on the next hour shortly. We'll see what he does. It's disappointment, Char, when all the pins. There's our gentleman. Now notice how it turned. Hey, how about that? How about that?
That
is
great.
already talked to many people, but now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Wolverton, who was the first director of the Senior Olympics, and Connie Kampschmidt, who organized this these bowling activities at Coleraine Bowl this year. Dr. Wolverton, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be among the beginnings of these Senior Olympics. At that time, back in 1979, we held the whole event at the University of Cincinnati. We did it all in one day.
One day.
One day.
How many days this year?
There are, they must have 6 maybe this year, 6 days. There were only 75 of us in the very first time, as compared to 600 and some this year. But we had bowling and basketball throw, we had track and field, and tennis and swimming, and the softball throw and horseshoes. So we had quite a few activities, even though we had so few people.
I see. Who thought up this idea? Was this your?
No, it originated with the Council on Aging, and they came to the University of Cincinnati to ask our cooperation. At that time, Larry Hawkins was a vice president, and he worked very closely with Senior Olympics, and I was appointed the director.
Oh, marvelous. How long were you director? How many years?
I think I was director for 3 years.
Well, I imagine that, you did the groundwork, and look at it now. You're very proud, aren't you?
Indeed so. It's a real thrill.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to talk with you, about this. Thank you so much, Dr. Wolverton.
My pleasure.
And Connie, how long did it take you to organize today's events?
Not really very long. This is by my 6th, 7th year that I've been doing this, so it's a pretty old hat, to tell you the truth. It keeps growing every year. We have, I would say, it's over 300 bowlers this year. First year we were under 100. That's all I remember. Under 100. So it doesn't take that long.
Well, that's wonderful.
They more or less take care of themselves, to tell you the truth.
Do they?
It goes real well.
Well, you did a great job, I should say. It looks like, you've laid a good base for each year's activities. You're looking forward to next year's activities?
Yes, and I predict over 350 next year at least.
Really?
We'll increase by 50 every year at least.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
We'll be here all day and all night one of these days.
Oh, you won't mind, would you?
I won't mind. I thoroughly enjoy this.
Connie, thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the wonderful job you've done here today. It's just so organized. It's beautiful. Everything in its place.
Thank you very much.
You did a great job. Dr. Wolverton, I had a question for you.
Go on. I want to say, while you're thinking of that, the cooperation we've had from the community just has been tremendous. And I think that everyone that's participated recognizes the value of what's happening here.
I should say, it wouldn't go anywhere without community support, would it?
No, it really wouldn't, because of that first year too, Blue Cross and Blue Shield was a part of our sponsoring group, and they really were also instrumental in getting all of this going.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we'll all look forward to next year. And Dr. Wolverton, I bet you are too.
Indeed, I am.
Are you still helping Rita now as director of the events? You're still helping
Yes,
her?
I help her out in any way that she needs me.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. We'll
Thank you.
See you tomorrow at the track.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, thank you. Is now up on alley number 11. Gail has won many awards. That a girl. How long have you been bowling in the Olympics?
6 years, I think.
6 years? And how have you done?
I have not done good in bowling. That's my worst event, but I did win, I think 3 years ago I won. That was the first time I think we, or maybe the second time we went, or fourth time we went to Akron. But I never do too good in bowling. And when I'm bowling but I have bowled a 214.
Oh my goodness, you don't do well. But now listen, you have a lot of awards for bowling. How many?
I've got 93 so far.
And you're not good at bowling and you have 93 awards? Gail, you're being too humble.
Well, I bowl because I like to bowl, and if I'm not as good at it, but, you know, as some people, because I haven't bowled all my life, I just, you know, pick it up and drop it. I was pretty old before I ever started bowling.
Oh, that's wonderful. Would you mind telling people how old you are now?
Well, I'm 80 now.
I tell you, when you get up there, you look like you're in a very young age bracket because you look so healthy, and you've been doing exercises for many years.
Yeah. Yes, I've been doing exercises, and I volunteer at the Maple Knolls Senior Center, and I've been volunteering there going on my 8th year now.
You're a hard worker there, I know. Listen, good luck, and thank you for talking with us. It was good seeing you again, Gail. And good luck tomorrow. You'll be at the track?
Yeah, I'll be at the track tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's Aubrey Phillips. Aubrey, that was a beautiful pickup. How long have you been doing this with the Olympics?
This will be going on the 9th year I've participated in bowling since I retired from GE in 1981.
Well, that's wonderful. You and Ruby do so much for so many. You're still as active at Maple Knoll?
Oh, sure. We have something going on every day down there. If we're not playing horseshoe, we're going on trips and stuff like that.
That's great. What are you going into the track tomorrow?
Yes, I'm not allowed to run since I've got the blocked artery, so I'll be able to participate in football throw and softball throw and stuff like that without any running.
How about the golf chipping? I remember you teaching.
I'm in the golf chipping, and I was supposed to play golf Wednesday, but I had a strep throat and didn't get to go.
Oh, that's too bad, but I know you'll do well in the golf chipping. I can remember you're golfing all of the time.
If they had some more to chip. Stubblefield.
Oh, well.
But we'll enjoy it anyway, meeting all the friends and all, and that's what's it all about in the Olympics, is meeting old friends and new friends and enjoying yourself. Even if you don't win, it's wonderful to be able to participate in it. I sure appreciate all that everybody's done to make the Olympics possible.
They did a wonderful job, didn't they?
They
Absolutely.
Sure did.
The coordinating takes so long. Well, listen, it's so good to see you again, and thank you for everything you do for so many seniors, and thank you for coming to talk with us.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Listen, we'll see you tomorrow at the track and field.
That's right. Thank you.
is Mrs. Ann Brock. Ann, how long have you been bowling in the Olympics?
6 years.
6 years.
I never was in a bowling alley in my life. I didn't know even how to hold a ball or anything 6 years ago. And what little I've learned has been since then, and they've had a lot of patience with me to teach me how.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Have you won any awards?
Not in bowling, I haven't.
In what?
But I've won in, I brought 7 medals home last year.
Oh, can you
see? In also 7 from Akron for the State Olympics last year.
You were in the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Now, in what did you do this?
Golf chipping and throwing the football and throwing the softball and throwing the discus and shot put and pitching horseshoes and throwing the basketball. I got A in the basketball. No, I got A in horseshoe pitching this year and second in the horseshoe pitching. Got the basketball.
That is amazing, you know, and the young people think seniors can't do anything. We ought to have a parade just for you.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness, you really have a diversified talent. You can do almost just anything. That's wonderful, Ann.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Oh, and you're going to go, and do you have to train all year for the Olympics?
Oh, no, I just train a little in the springtime. After the weather gets warm, that's about all I practice then.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, listen, it was good seeing you. How are you doing in today's game?
Not too good.
Oh, it'll get better. Well,
thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte.
Good luck. I'd like you to meet Charles Reynolds. Charles has literally got a handicap, and he is blind in his right eye, and yet he gets out there and bowls. Now, I think that is wonderful. For all of you who are depressed or sitting in your rocking chair, this man is truly an inspiration. Charles, hi. I think it's wonderful that you're doing this. Do you find that this is a handicap to you in any way? Tell us what your scores were. First?
Well, my first score was 153. 154, then I finally got over the 200.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Do you have difficulty in seeing the pins since you are blind in your right eye?
Well, looking one way, I got to look to the right side to see straight ahead. And that is a handicap part right there, is seeing what you're throwing at and then hitting it after you see it.
Uh-huh. How did this happen? I mean, were you in an accident?
Yeah, I was up on the roof, and I came through, my wife told me this, but I came through the roof down on the solid concrete and split my head wide open, and they took me to hospital, and then about 6 weeks later, I come to enough to where that I knew I was going to make it.
Oh my, that is something. And how long did it take you to get back on your feet?
Well, I'm still trying to get on my feet some, but bowling and getting out and enjoying myself is what's really helping me.
The socialization and the exercise, right?
Right.
Do you watch your diet?
No, but I don't eat that much, but I do kind of watch it because that helps all of us to watch what we eat. Yes,
yes. Well, you certainly, you look so young. Did this happen when you were older, an older adult? Were you retired or anything like
No, I was only 52 years old when this accident happened, which was about 10 years ago. And they told me I'm totally disabled, I can't do this or that. So I'm out proving that some things you can. I can't think right, but it don't make any difference. You don't talk to the bowling ball anyway.
Well, God bless you. Listen, you are doing beautifully, and don't give up on the not thinking right, because that will come too.
I sure hope it will. And to everybody who is handicapped or something, don't quit. Get up and say, I'm going to do it, and you can do it.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. And you are living proof it can be done, Charles. I think that's marvelous. We certainly are very proud to have you, to be talking with you and to have you on the program.
And I thank you, but also this one lung is partially gone. And
Would Nettie Ellis please come to the desk? Nettie Ellis.
That's all part of the accident, but like I said, I thank God that I'm here today.
That's wonderful. Just keep up the good work and the strong positive will that you have. Thank you so much for talking with us. And now we have Ruby Phillips. Ruby has been on the steering committee of the Senior Olympics for 9 years and has worked very hard. We just interviewed her husband, Aubrey Phillips, and the two of them have been so involved in volunteer work for seniors. It's a pleasure to have them with us today. Ruby, hi.
Hello, Charlotte.
How long have you been working now for this year's events?
Well, we always start like a year in advance to get all the major things ready for the upcoming events for the following year.
Do you do a lot of homework?
Well, to participate, we do practice and try to be ready for our events when they come. So we do try to keep in shape during the year. I have won 3rd place in horseshoes. I have already won 3rd place in table tennis. I won 3rd place in basketball, and I won third place in pool.
That's wonderful. Oh, congratulations. That's this year that you did that.
This year that I've just completed. And I'm looking forward to the field events for track and field, which will be Saturday.
That's wonderful. We're going to be there tomorrow to see, and we'll watch for you. What are you going to do tomorrow?
Well, I have signed up for quite a few events. It depends on the weather, whether I participate in all, but I have entered 50-yard dash, 100-yard dash, shot put, discus, baseball throw, football throw, golf chipping, and running long jump.
Oh, Ruby, that's wonderful. Do you find all this exercise is really keeping you feeling fit?
Yes, it has helped a lot.
Because I can remember when you've had some bad days.
Yes, my health has not been too good, but I think it has improved because of being in the Olympics, the exercise.
Well, you and Aubrey are certainly an inspiration to everyone for, what you both have gone through, and still you're so involved in doing so much good for seniors, and congratulations. If there were more people like you and Aubrey, the world would be a fine, fine place. And good luck tomorrow. We'll be there.
Thank you. I will need it. I am also the representative from Maple Knolls Seniors for Older Adults from their center.
That's wonderful. You're doing very well there, too.
Thank you. We really appreciate all the people that have helped with the different donations and everything, because without them we couldn't really put this on. And people like you that have also came and given your time to video us. We really thank you for that.
Oh, it's our pleasure. That's what this program is about. It's for seniors, and to help them in any way we can.
Right.
Thank you, Ruby. It was so nice seeing you again.
And thanks to everyone out there.
I'd like to introduce you to the volunteers. They have worked so hard and certainly need recognition for the hours and hours that they have put in. We have first Sally Erksleben.
Am I supposed to say something?
No, just look. And then we have Edna Butts. And then Louise Berg. And of course Ruby Phillips, who is at every table at every Olympic event and helping. We have 2 more bowlers that we would like you to meet. First, I'd like to introduce you on my right to Margaret Jackson. Margaret, tell our viewers about being in the international events in Australia last year.
It was a great experience. There were 51 countries represented, about 5,000 athletes, and the people were wonderful. Even though we couldn't understand one another, we got along great.
It's wonderful. Now, you came back with some awards?
I had 1 gold and 3 silver.
Congratulations. What was the gold medal in?
That was the 100-yard dash.
Wow. Margaret, do you mind telling our viewers how old you are?
76.
You're 76? And you won a gold medal at the International Olympics. Congratulations. You certainly are an inspiration to all of those people who are in their rocking chair. That's what this program is about. Get out of your rocking chair. It's your turn to be on your turn. And I think it's wonderful.
It's not easy, though. I mean, to get out of the rocking chair.
I know. But you have to start and build up to it. How long have you been doing this?
Since I saw the ad in the paper after my husband passed away. And then every year it's been real great fun and an incentive to do.
What did you get the gold medal in?
I got the gold medal in the, I do all the short runs.
Oh, the 100.
I got it in the 100-meter. I got the silver in the 200 and the 400 and the running long jump.
That's wonderful. And on my left, we have Eileen Hochter. Eileen, congratulations to you. You are a many medal winner also.
Yes, I've participated in the Olympics since 1981 when it started. And I have quite a few medals accumulated over the years. And I just feel thankful that I'm able to be out and doing these things.
What is your best sport?
Well, that's hard to say. I'm in the volleyball team this year. We have a gold medal right now, and we will be participating statewide. And I'm hoping for something in my bowling today, and I did get a gold in golf so far.
So far, wonderful.
Those three are three of my favorites, I guess.
Oh, Eileen, that is marvelous. Congratulations. Do you
you.
practice a lot?
Well, I have been out of bowling for 8 years, but I just got back in it again this year. But I had previously bowled for 25 years.
Oh,
so
marvelous.
I certainly enjoy it, so I hope to do well today.
Oh, well,
but it's fun just being here.
I should say
it's fun just being here.
Oh, the sociability. I think we better stop. They're having the Star Spangled Banner. Thanks to both of you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank Coleraine Bowl for their hospitality. I'd like to thank all our volunteers for their diligent work that they've done for us all day today. I would like to thank also Charlotte Wilson, who is here from the program Your Turn, which is on Channel 10 on cable, so you may see all your beautiful faces on TV. And she's been here all day with us with her wonderful staff, and I'd like to give them a special thanks as well. I would like to also remind you, they do deserve a hand. I would also like to remind you that since you checked in today, if you are participating in games tomorrow at the University of Cincinnati, you do not need to check in there. You can go directly to your site. No more lines. Isn't that wonderful? Okay.
Charlotte, Diane is now giving the bowlers their instructions for this afternoon, and with her behind the counter is Audrey Veach and Mickey Heeg. They're the managers for this afternoon in lieu of Frank Ruggieri, who is the manager of Coleraine Bowls. Audrey and Mickey have been so kind to us. There's Audrey there in the red dress with her back to us. She's kind of turned around. And there is Mickey, and both of them are just so gracious.
If you get the dues, I believe you got a chance to receive.
Thank you.
Today we are at the Tri-County Racket Club tennis finals at the Senior Olympics. And with me is Diane Lefty, and on my left is Molly McGrath, who will present the awards to the tennis players here today. Molly?
Thank you. The gold medals for the women's doubles 70 to 74 age group goes to Hope Nettleton.
Thank you.
Eric Rauermaster. There you go. Eleanor.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Agnes. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you, and good luck. And you're going to continue playing now. Good luck.
Thank you very much. We always continue.
Great. That shows that seniors can go on and on and on if they keep in good health like you are. Diane, this was good. Thanks. That's good. Thank you being here. Thank you.
Some good shots today.
Welcome to Your Turn. I'm excited today because it's an exciting time of the year and we've got an exciting program. Our guests are also, to use the word, exciting, and wait till you meet them. You'll remember this program a long time. Let me introduce you to our guest who will be talking about 1989 Southwest Senior Olympics. First, we have on my right Margot Schwartz. Margot is the coordinator of the Senior Olympics for Council on Aging. Next, we have Rita Klenke, Professor Rita Klenke from University of Cincinnati. And Rita Klenke is the coordinator of the Senior Olympic events. Our next guest is Nancy Klein. And Nancy Klein is representing the sponsor, Good Samaritan Hospital. And our next guest, Dr. Henry Heimlich. I'm sure all of you know who Dr. Heimlich is. And he is an honorary dignitary for the Senior Olympics this year. And we also have two of our runners, or torchbearers, with us today. And they are Tony Lang and Eleanor Morrison. Tony Range, I'm sorry, Tony. Tony Range and Eleanor Morrison, and we'll be talking to them also. Now, our time is limited, and we could keep these guests here for 2 days straight without stopping the talking. But we'll start with Margot. Margot, tell us about the Senior Olympics, the concept with Council on Aging, when it started, and all you've done, and especially opening day. Tell us all about it. It's exciting.
I'd be happy to. I'd like you to thank you for having us on today's program.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
The one thing that really draws me to being a part of the Senior Olympics is the fact that it's an opportunity to add to the quality of life for the ever-increasing numbers of older adults. And through this planned program, by its nature, it encourages and motivates people to improve themselves, their quality of life, both physically, spiritually, and psychologically. When men and women grow older, the tendency is to think of them as somehow past that moment of physical grace and excellence. And the Senior Olympics proves that athletic achievement belongs to them, that health and vitality and wellness is for the older adult as well as the young person. The Council on Aging, along with our other sponsors, have done a really tremendous job over the last 10 years. The very first Senior Olympics took place June 14th, 1980. We had 67 registrants and 10 events. Now, in 1988, we had well over 600 participants, and this year we're expecting well over 700.
Oh, that's great.
It really is. It's very exciting. I would like to emphasize that the deadline for registration is March 31st, and so please, if you're interested in participating, do get your registrations into us on time.
And they're to call you at Council on Aging. We'll have that number on our screen at the end.
We have 30 events this year. The newest event, addition to Cincinnati's Senior Olympics, is the cycling event. We will be, anyone within the 5 counties of Butler, Claremont, Clinton, Hamilton, and Warren counties are able to participate, and then they can go on to a state competition, after which anyone who participates will receive a t-shirt and a personalized certification, and there will be medals awarded for the first, second, and third place.
The age now, the age limit.
Anyone 55 and better.
Oh, 55.
Growing young.
Well, that's good. And they register before March 31st. We repeat that.
That's very important.
March 31st is the last day. Well, very good. You certainly have a lot of work in this, and tell us about opening day very quick. I think we have some time.
We're going to have a really wonderful kickoff ceremony on April 17th at noon on Fountain Square. The festivities begin at 11 o'clock. We have 2 concurrent activities. One is the fitness walk. Anybody at any age is welcome to participate. That's going to be led by Oscar Robertson and Adele Mager from the Council on Aging. And we are going to be walking from the Butterfield Center at 11 o'clock, winding up on Fountain Square at noon with a big celebration. Then also at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a very ceremonious torch run, very much like the Classic Olympics. We're going to have a torch, and we have several senior Olympian runners who are going to be relaying a torch from the University of Cincinnati's administration building all the way downtown to Fountain Square. And it's going to be wonderful. We're going to have lots of balloons and tremendous support in the way of people, dignitaries and sports figures, some of whom are going to be, of course, our honorary chairperson, Raleigh Schwartz, and Jerry Springer is our MC. Dr. Heimlich is going to be present, along with our sponsors, Roger Wesley, who is the president of Good Samaritan Hospital. We're going to have representatives from the Sisters of Charity and the University of Cincinnati. Some of our sports figures are going to be Roland Mullen, who is an award-winning canoeist from the Olympics. We're also going to have Marion Spellman, who is going to sing the national anthem. Julie Ishberding, a great marathon runner, is going to be there. Walt Mayer, who is a senior Olympian and as well as a Channel 12 sportscaster. Pat Barry will be there. We're going to have just a whole lot of fun events, as well as the Fast Steppers, the Maple Knoll Dancers, who are going to be a part of our opening day ceremony.
That's great.
We're also going to have a volleyball exhibition. Some of the senior Olympian volleyball players and celebrities who are there are going to play a 15-minute exhibition. We're going to have the UC Pep Band, and it's going to be a terrific time. I encourage everyone to come out for this. Even those of you who don't feel ready to participate in the Senior Olympics, I would hope that you would come out and bring your families and spectate, because this is a community event. The Senior Olympics are for you. If you're interested in getting more information, please call me, or just come on out and be a spectator and find out what Senior Olympics is all about.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure they will. Margot, thank you. And Rita, you are in charge of all the events. You know, after filming or taping the last year's events, I understand the job you have, and you did a wonderful job last year. Tell us about the events this year. You split the days on track and field, didn't you, this year?
We had too much confusion on the track and field in terms of it was going on simultaneously, and we had people who wanted to be in both track and field, so we decided the best thing to do was to split the day. 29 events, Shar. We'll go over a 2-week period starting on the 18th. And that will be tennis on that Tuesday morning. And that tennis this year will be a Tri-County Racket Club. And again, they're not all focused on University of Cincinnati campus. We're all over the city, really, with the 630-odd people. Last year, I think our oldest gentleman was 94 years old, and the youngest one was, of course, 55. And it seems like the 55-year-olds, we have more difficulty getting them to participate than people in the 60s and 70s and so on. They don't want to go out with those old people.
I know. They don't want to admit that they're getting older.
Those 65 and older are just as dynamic as anything. But after the tennis, then we'll go into the other types of events. We'll have horseshoes this year at Foley Park, which is in Delhi. Beautiful horseshoe courts, 6 clay courts. And that all is sponsored or given to us, if you will, by the Delhi Recreation Center. So there's some real cooperation in the city, and it just works out very well. We'll have golf chipping this year. Before, we had this on campus, and as you can imagine, the lawn on campus is not golf course lawn. This year, General Electric Park is going to allow us to do our golf chipping at GE Park on a golf green. So we'll have the real McCoy this year. On Friday, we have our tennis finals, semifinals and finals. That will be a follow-up from the Tuesday prelims. And then also on Friday will be our team sport, and that's volleyball this year. Last year we had 4 teams, 3 men's teams, no, 5 teams, 3 men's teams and 2 women's teams. And this year we're looking to double that amount with the response. Saturday starts our swimming, and that's on UC's campus, and we'll have freestyle, breaststroke, backstroke, butterfly, and that will be well received, as it always is. In the afternoon, then, we go into our field events, and that includes discus, shot put, long jump, horseshoe throw, not horseshoe, but football throw, and softball throw. And we'll have probably around 300 people participating in the field events. On the following Monday, then, we'll have the bicycling events. And this will be a 1 mile or a 5K bicycle race. And we'll hold this at Mount Airy Forest on the south oval of Mount Airy Forest, which is a very nice area. The participants, we will not have a gang start. Participants will start at 1-minute intervals, so it'll be very safe, and hopefully a new event that will have more people out this year. And I understand there's real active bicycle clubs in the Cincinnati area, so hopefully we'll get the bicyclists out. On Tuesday, April the 25th, we'll have table tennis, and that will be held at University of Cincinnati in Tangeman Center. Then golf, which is always very popular, and this is 18-hole regulation course as well as a 9-hole executive course. Participants play either. If they play the 18-hole course, they're eligible then for state competition. The 9-hole course is regional competition only. We'll probably have about 200 people playing golf. And incidentally, last year we had a father who was in his 80s and his son who played golf, who was in his 60s. So it's a kind of interesting combination. On Thursday, the 27th of April, we'll have pool, and that's 8-ball pool, and that will be held at Tangeman also. On Friday, the 28th of April, we'll have bowling. And this year, again, we're using the Coleraine bowling alleys.
They were very gracious last year.
They are just real kind people. And this year, we think we may have to put a 3rd flight in that is that popular with seniors. So about 300, we can accommodate about 144 in one flight. So if we go for 3 flights, you can see that we're well over 300 people in bowling. And then Saturday, we go into our track events. And such track events as the 5,000-meter run, the 400-meter run, 1,500-meter race walk, the 1,500-meter run, the 200-meter dash, and the 100-meter dash. And that's always a popular event. And along with that Saturday track, we will also have hospitality room for all participants, their family, and their friends.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So we'll have 2 full weeks, and I understand that you'll be out watching and
taping
the
crew.
And we're just real pleased with that, Shar.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I had so many calls last year from participants who were so excited about seeing, you know, their forms and, oh, they've got to do this and they've got to lift that foot faster. You know, it was so cute. And many requests, would you play that tape again?
Sure.
You know, so we did, because I think it's so very important for them to be seen, you know, especially, well, after all, what they're doing is such an inspiration for the rocking chair people.
That's very true.
Well,
the thing that is real interesting, Shar, is that it's not just UC and the Council on Aging and Good Samaritan Hospital. It's an intergenerational thing. We'll have over 300 volunteers, college students volunteering, timing and scoring and reception people. And it's just a tremendous event to come out and watch and to participate. So we really urge people to sign up and come. And if they don't feel like participating, come and watch. It's just a tremendous example of what, and I want to use the word elderly, but the physical health of people who really are involved in activity and exercise.
Right. I hope this year we can get all the volunteers together for one picture that we can get on tape. I
That'd
think
be
that
nice.
would be good, so that they know that we are all recognizing them and the work they do. Well, thank you, Rita.
You bet.
And Nancy, my goodness. Nancy, you're from Good Samaritan Hospital and Director of Adult Life Services. And it was through you that Good Samaritan Hospital is sponsoring this year's Olympics. Tell us how this came about. It's so exciting.
Yes, we were very excited. About, I guess it was in October or November, Bob Logan, who is an assistant director at the Council on Aging for the Cincinnati area, came to Good Sam and invited us to sponsor the 1989 Senior Olympics. I was very excited about the idea because while Good Samaritan Hospital has always been involved in healthcare and education for all people and for the older adult, we really only recently formalized our involvement by developing the Department of Adult Life Services. And I think my department was only 6 months old at the time. So I looked at this as a great opportunity for us to get involved with the older adult population of Cincinnati. And I talked to the Sisters of Charity congregation and the Sisters of Charity healthcare system, which are both sponsoring organizations for Good Samaritan Hospital. Sisters of Charity sponsor the Sisters of Charity healthcare system, and Good Sam is part of that system of national network of hospitals and other facilities, and asked them if they would like to co-sponsor with us. They were very pleased with the idea. This is something that they've been committed to for a long time, and they feel that it's a terrific opportunity for them to show their support and their interest in working with the older adult population. So we all joined together and got together with Margot and Pat Dowd and some other people from the Council on Aging and Adele Mayer started our plans, and things got started a little bit late, but we got the ball rolling, and it's been fast and furious, but I think April will be a terrifically exciting time.
Oh, that's wonderful. It was nip and tuck there for a while, wasn't it, Rita? I talked to you so many times during the year. Is there a sponsor yet, Rita?
We were concerned.
I'd really like to just interject what a team effort it is. If it weren't for Good Samaritan Hospital, we may not have had the Senior Olympics this year. And the help that Rita and UC gives us, and the people like Dr. Heimlich and the people who come in to support our efforts, it's a team effort, and I certainly don't do this alone. There are so many people who work with us very diligently, and if it weren't for them, this wouldn't happen.
Right. The Sisters of Charity have done a lot of work for the people that need help, haven't they, throughout the years?
Yes, they have. The Sisters of Charity congregation was founded in Cincinnati, and they hold 5 major entities that are actually go across the nation. Since they were founded locally, many of the organizations that they sponsor are local, such as Seton High School, the College of Mount St. Joseph, the St. Joseph's Infant Home, and of course Good Samaritan Hospital as one of the healthcare facilities. And in Colorado they have the Penrose Center, which is a retreat center for religious and lay people. They also are involved in, they provide time and personnel to such local organizations and programs as Healthy Moms and Babes and the St. Rita School for the Deaf. So they have been, they really have a major impact and interest in Cincinnati. And I think that a lot of people probably don't know how much they are involved in and providing for this city.
And now the Senior Olympics.
And now the Senior Olympics.
That's all categories of ages. Oh,
yes.
Right. That's wonderful.
Well, I think that certainly our philosophy follows with the Sisters of Charity, that we want to work with and provide holistic living for people throughout their lives. That means from youth to old age, and providing for not just their spirit or their physical well-being, their emotional and mental well-being also. And certainly the Senior Olympics is a terrific way to do that. As Rita and Margot indicated, this is intergenerational. It's a terrific opportunity for the community to come out and show support. I'm always impressed with the way Cincinnati supports the Reds and the Bengals, and we've got hundreds of softball groups around the city. And to me, here's another terrific athletic event that's part of Cincinnati's history. And it shows our interest and our support for the people of Cincinnati through all ages.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. I think I've been taught by the Franciscan sisters most of my life, most of my education. It's really great. I understand what you're saying. They do so much for so many, such good causes. Well, thank you, Nancy, and thank you for, wow, I think everyone thanks Nancy for putting the bug in the sisters' ears. They need a sponsor. That is tremendous. And I know you're looking forward to this year's Olympics. It'll be your first one, won't it?
Yes.
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
I'm very excited. I'm hoping I can spend a good deal of the 2 weeks at the various events.
Well, that's great. Thank you. And Dr. Heimlich, what can I say? I could keep you here, like I say, 5 weeks, and to have you tell the story, and you, along with the Sisters of Good Shepherd, have done so very much for humanity. You have done so much, and yet you are such a humble person, and you keep on doing so much, and now you're backing the Senior Olympics, and oh my goodness, what a wonderful thing to do. What do you think about the Senior Olympics this year?
Well, first of all, you're awfully nice, Charlotte.
Oh.
I have the feeling that really everybody in the world does something for somebody else, and within the extent of their training and ability and so forth. And I think everybody should be credited for that, particularly now at a time when the world is really coming together for the first time in history. I think Martin Luther King said, "Free at last, free at last." I think now we can say peace at last, peace at last.
Right.
I see wonderful things ahead.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. I feel, well, we had a program which was called Patriots for Peace, and it was primarily to get trade stimulated between the United States and the Soviet Union. Now that's happened, not through our program alone, but it's coming, and along with trade will come peace. And so now we're stressing something different. We're saying now it's time for a compassionate world, a world where everyone looks to other people's needs. Instead of waiting for the catastrophe, such as the earthquake in Armenia or the starvation, we look ahead and say, what do these people need, and how can we do something about it? And we're getting to that. And again, I feel I'm a practical person. I may simplify, but I feel practical. And I believe we're being driven to it through the economics today. You cannot have all this debt, not only in our country, but in the third world countries. And the debts will never be paid off. So they're going to have to be canceled, and we're doing it in Mexico by backing their bonds, and hopefully it looks like we're going to be able to get Brazil to restrict cutting down their forests, which provide us with oxygen, by putting off or eliminating their debts. And so this is coming about, and I feel very good about it. And I think maybe that's part of the Senior Olympics as well, is it's a compassionate thing. Everybody's out there competing, but many are hoping for this person to do well, and whoever does well is going to be credited with it. So I see it as a very warm, human approach. I think it's also part of something else that we'd like to get going here, and with this approach to a compassionate world, we'd like Cincinnati to be the first compassionate city. Cincinnati is a good city for helping people. And they're building the new building for the homeless, and people do move out. But I'd like to see Cincinnati become labeled as the compassionate city, and have it official. Have it an official action of the council that says we will be a compassionate city, and we will have an agency where anyone seeing a difficulty can come and say, what can you do about this, before it happens. So I think...
have you approached council with this?
We're just drawing this together and we're getting people interested in it. And I think if we can do it, it'll spread to other cities and other states and other countries. And we're ready for it. The world is ready for it. It's going to be a wonderful world.
Oh, that's great. You know, speaking of wonderful world, you're on your way to Russia, right?
Yes.
And I think that's exciting. And you are going to be on television showing the maneuver over?
Well, it's going to be sort of a combination visit. I'm going as one of the delegates on the first visit for the Cincinnati-Kharkov Sister City project. And, you know, Peter Strauss is going as the vice mayor and Leetta Powell for the schools and so forth. And I think that in itself is going to be a very interesting and good relations to start. Interestingly enough, the students from Princeton School here are going to be there just at the end of our trip, and we will be meeting in Kharkov, the sister city, on the last day and night. I have other projects going on there. I've been in correspondence with doctors I have met at different meetings, different parts of this country and around the world. And they have asked me to set up a research project in conjunction with the First Moscow Medical Institute and the Heimlich Institute here at Xavier University. And that's being arranged. I'll spend my first few days doing that. They do know of the Heimlich maneuver for the saving of choking and drowning victims, and they are trying to set up something where we can broadcast it on national Soviet television. So it's going to be a pretty busy time.
I should say. Oh, gosh, that's wonderful.
But, you know, it's an interesting thing. I was in World War II, and I was in the U.S. Navy, and I was in the Navy because I love the salt water and ships. But with a typical Heimlich maneuver, I ended up in a guerrilla army in the Gobi Desert of Inner Mongolia in northwest China. But I have often thought that if I had been killed at that time, when I was 24 years old, what a great fun life I would have missed. And so that has led me, you know, to be interested in the cause of peace. Really, no one else should have to go ever again. And I recently was privileged to receive the Americanism Award of the China-Burma-India Theater Veterans. And I said to them, and I firmly believed it, and do believe it, I said, you know, when we all die, there will never again be a veteran of a world war. And I didn't know how they'd receive that, but they stood and gave a standing ovation, and they agreed with it. So I think it's very important when you think of the United States and the Soviet Union and China beginning to develop trade and personal relationships. It's a turnabout of all history. Throughout all history, after each world war, has happened after the last one. The leading powers prepare for the next war. There was England against Spain, and England versus France, and then for 100 years, and England and France against Germany. And now, for the first time in history, though we did prepare, and we did have wars during that period, where both of us lost terribly, for the first time in history, it looks like that is being reversed. And if that is reversed, then all of history will change, and for the better. And we're here to see it. I think that's wonderful.
Oh, I should say. And, you know, I think all of our, especially the elderly seniors who have gone through all of these and lost their sons, and that will be so happy to see this, you know, absolutely happening. You know, it's almost unbelievable. But, you know, the aspect with you is that you're the health aspect along with the peace aspect, which is so great, you know, and you'll be bringing health lifestyles to those, well, to all the countries that you do work in, and you work in several countries, don't you, Dr. Heimlich?
Yes, I have a project for cancer treatment going on in 2 different countries, and then we have a treatment for emphysema, I think you're familiar with. That's already quite widespread, but we have now modified it so that it can be used to treat children with cystic fibrosis. And that is being done. I'm doing that in 5 or 6 children's hospitals around the country. So we keep pretty busy. I might say the Heimlich Institute is nonprofit. We are supported entirely by either grants and contributions, and we try to use the funds as well as we can. Part of the health, of course, is involved in the Senior Olympics. And I think they're a good demonstration of how well people can be. I myself, I don't think was too good at self-nutrition. You know, doctors really never were taught anything about nutrition. Absolutely zero.
I know that.
And what I learned from my wife Jane, who has written books and articles on alternative health care and nutrition. And really a short time ago, about 8 or 10 years ago, I learned to give up the red meat, to stop eating the fats and the sugars, and it made a big difference. I took off some weight, and now I play tennis, and I want to join the Senior Olympics, by the way, tennis.
I was going to ask, are you going to?
I qualify.
Oh,
so
that's
I
a
play
promise
tennis
now.
and ski and feel much better.
Oh, that's
I shouldn't have
great.
given out that nutrition secret to the other Olympic contestants until after.
Eleanor Morrison and Tony Range. Eleanor, you are a swimmer.
I've been swimming since childhood. I learned to swim at the YWCA. Well, I was a bit fearful of the water, so it took a time, and when I participated at the University of Cincinnati as a physical education major, I developed the strokes, and then I went to summer camp, and I think I perfected some of my skills at that time. Had an opportunity to go to Water Safety National Aquatic School with the Red Cross, and that's where I've been for 50 years, perhaps, in the water.
Well, that's great. And you are now a lifeguard at St. Clair Common. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, I'm called a part-time substitute when I'm available, because I do like to travel and have other interests, like Senior Olympics, of course. I do guard the pool and teach some water aerobics as a part of the program.
And you are going to be in the swimming meets for the Senior Olympics this year. Which year is this for you?
For me, this will be the third year. I was one of the spectators, as Rita and Margot suggested. We all could come out and watch the program, and that's where I was in 1986. But I was very encouraged, especially, as Rita suggested, the support of the intergenerational opportunities where the students or the young professionals acted as officials, how they encouraged the older swimmers to go for it, go for the gold.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? And you went for the gold?
Well, yes, but I always have a competitor in my age bracket. It happens to be Vicki Memel. We were at the YWCA as staff members many years ago, and Vicki became a competitive swimmer. I think she maybe practices more diligently than I. So I come in with seconds.
Well, that's good. That's good. And you're going for the first this year.
I'm going for the gold this year.
For the gold. Oh, that's wonderful.
I recorded for the record last year some of the times, and now I know where I need to develop a greater power. And for anyone, I was doing this to encourage some of the swimmers at the St. Clair Community Center to participate, to see what their competitors were.
And do they swim a lot at...
We swim, but it's more of a lap swimming for conditioning and strengthening rather than competition. It seems like the older citizen, even though they may have participated as college competitors, no longer feel that urge. I was not a competitor to any degree in college, especially in the swimming field, but it was a challenge for me as an older adult.
Well, that's marvelous. Do you do any teaching?
I have taught in the past, but at the St. Clair Center we have the exercise program in the water, but not a swimming skills program.
Well, it's a possibility for you.
Yes, and I always try to encourage improvement of strokes as I see the swimmers.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, we certainly will be anxious to see your performance. We hope to get there to put it on tape this year. And how many participate in the swimming?
We had about 22 women last year and about 20 men. I've tried to promote the swimming with the older citizens. We call them keenagers. Keen, K-E-E-N, agers. I think I like that term.
Okay, well, listen, thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the swimming meets.
Thank you.
And Tony, you've got quite a history, haven't you,
Yeah,
too? What are you going to be in this year?
400, 200, 100 meters, shot put, discus, swimming backstroke, and horseshoes, and softball free throw. 10 events.
Wow, you know, after hearing all of that, it makes you want to take a nap. You're going to be a busy man, aren't you? Did you do all of these things last year?
I did 6 last year,
Oh, that's quite a lot.
but I thought I'd try a little more.
Oh, well, good. What is some of your history? How long have you been in the Olympics?
9 years. I had a lady that told me I could do it, and I said I could.
Who's the lady?
Her name is Betty Rhodes.
Uh-huh.
She teaches at Marymount High School and Fairfax Elementary. But she said I could do it, and I've enjoyed it ever since. And I've been in the nationals out of 11 fellows in the 200. I got a 5th place ribbon, my name over the PA system, and my little missus says, that's great. And I've gotten 38 medals, 11 ribbons. They started with ribbons on the start, and won 5th place in the nationals. And I'll be going there this year in the 400, the 200, and the 100, and also in Indianapolis at the same events besides here in Akron.
The nationals?
Oh, yeah. St. Louis every other year. And I really enjoy it. They got the nicest track you can fly. And when you hear somebody coming behind you with them feet, you just want to go a little further past them.
Oh, that's the motivator. Huh?
Yes, that's right.
Well, that is wonderful. Does your wife participate in the Olympics at all, or does she?
My missus? No, she's too tiny and she doesn't like it. I took her to the Y, and she's only 4'7", and her head stuck out of the water. It embarrassed her, and she hasn't been back.
Oh, but she supports you.
Oh, yes. And I also worked for the railroad 41 years, and I put it in our magazine, and it went all over 50 states. And it said it was her food that made me go.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But she's been a big help to me. That's my second marriage. I got married at 75 a second time. And then in November this year, I'll be 79.
Well.
And I work out at the Gamble Nippard Y on the computer stair climber, computer rower, and I lift weights, and I can sit down on the floor and pull 160 pounds 5 times. And they all look at me, and I ride a bicycle, and they all look and say, I don't know how you do it. And last year when I was in the Inquiry, I was pretty hard to get acquainted after I moved from the east side to the west side. But after they put that on the board, I got lots of friends. Everywhere I go, everywhere.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Do you do what Dr. Heimlich does, a healthy lifestyle, proper nutrition, and exercise?
Well, yes, and in the mornings now, I work out for 2 hours, and then in the afternoon, I walk 4 miles. And part of that I run in between. And I like, as far as a diet, I like fish, vegetables, a little meat, and lots of fruit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Isn't that right,
And being Italian, you'd think I'd like spaghetti, but I like the fish the best.
Oh, that's great.
But I feel pretty good.
Well, good. Well, listen, we certainly will be anxious to see you, too, in the track events this year. And watch Professor Klinke and Marco give out the medals. That'll be wonderful, won't it?
Yes, and here's a sample of these medals. And everyone participating gets a T-shirt. So come on out.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for coming and explaining to our viewers at home the wonderful way of keeping fit and welcoming all of them to come and join you.
It's the only way.
Well, good.
It's the only way.
You know what now? Margot's dad, Raleigh Schwartz, couldn't make it today. He's out of town. But he was kind enough to come in last week to do an interview with us and talk with us so that our home viewers could meet him too. Margot, this would be a good time to show your dad performing. So we'll see Raleigh now and listen to him. I'd like to introduce you to the honorary chairman of the 1989 Cincinnati Senior Olympics, Mr. Raleigh Schwartz. Welcome, Mr. Schwartz, and we certainly thank you for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure, believe me. I think you've got one of the greatest causes going.
Well, thank you. And, you know, we try to reach the homebound especially, and your being here with this fantastic resume, you'll have to come back for an hour show or maybe 5-hour shows.
That's my pleasure, believe me.
It is wonderful that you've been chosen, but after reading this, I can understand why. What do you think of the Senior Olympics?
Well, I think it's a marvelous program, because without the Senior Olympics, there's so much waste among some of the elderly. Now, myself, I'm 75, and if I didn't have my daily workout, I don't think I could exist. That's just part of my way. I still have 2 full-time jobs. I coach at Xavier University, coach the kids there, and it's all part of living. To me, speaking to the Senior Olympic people, the most important thing is motivation and a good schedule. You can't sit down and fantasize your way into condition and good health. You got to get off your duffs. You got to start doing things, but in moderation. I mean, if you go out of shape, don't feel bad. It probably took you 2, 4, 5, 10 years to go out of shape. It's going to take you a good month or 2 to start getting back motivated enough where you can go out and take a nice brisk 2-mile, 3-mile walk, and from there you can progress into other activities, which I really advocate. I don't believe that exercise is the only method. I'm talking about formal exercise, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that jazz. I'm talking about something that you enjoy doing that is physical. That's the key, physical. So this is just one of the thoughts I had, and it's such a fine opportunity for me to get and talk to some of these fine people who all they need is that little shove. Just get out of that rocking chair and start doing it, doing it, doing it.
That's the motto of the program, you know, to get out of the rocking chair and do something.
I wasn't aware of that, but that's the answer, believe me. You know, I've been in medical rehabilitation for over 40 years, well, since World War II, actually. And that's the whole key, is to get people, first of all, up here is motivation. And from there, you know, when you get out of bed, you start doing something, you'll say, ooh, ouch, and all this type of thing. But believe me, after 2 weeks, when you get the lactic acid out of your system, it takes at least that long, and then you start gradually doing your bending and getting those tendons stretched a little bit. Then you feel comfortable, and pretty soon you'll feel like if you didn't work out every day, it's just like missing a meal. Something is missing. Not only for people 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, but I coach the younger kids too. And I get them to the point where if they miss a workout, they really feel like they have missed something, more than a meal, probably.
Tell me, speaking of meals, you advocate proper nutrition, don't you?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, I don't believe in fetishes. All of a sudden you're going to go and you're going to drink 1 cup of some goo and that's going to make you well. I believe in a well-balanced diet. And staying away from the heavy foods, of course. You know, the big talk now is cholesterol. And you can get your cholesterol down, but not just by eating, by exercising. The fastest way to get your cholesterol down is start working out. And then, of course, eating sensibly, staying away from the fatty stuff and so forth. I mean, we can go into that, and of course, that in itself is a whole program of nutrition. But definitely that good common sense of the correct eating, getting plenty of rest, don't forget the rest factor, and then, of course, the exercise. You got a good 3-way go. And, you know, as I say, I'm active 10, 12 hours a day. As soon as I finish I got 2 jobs. I finish my job. I go down that's where I'm going right from here. Going right down to university, and there I got my 18 to 20-year-old kids, and we work out an hour and a half instead of sitting around and goofing off. And, you know, what's the term they use about couch potato? I think that's a new one. There's always something. We had other terms in our day. But getting out and just motivating yourself, getting that circulation going. But the circulation must be motivated from the brain. You've got to say to yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back in shape. And I don't mean shape like you're going to play football, basketball, boxing, or anything of this. I mean just for good health. You're going to get back where you have good circulation, and you can get off of 90% of your pills. This is the thing.
Oh, that's right.
At most of the physicians. Sure, if you can't exercise for one reason, heart or whatever, that's another factor. But I'm talking about being sensible. There isn't any reason why even the heart patient, one of the best things they tell you is to start walking. Walking. Greatest exercise in the world.
Are you going to be a participant in the Olympics this year?
Well, I'll tell you what my problem is. I've got more things going than Carter has pills. I'm head of the United States Amateur Boxing Program, as you probably know. I'm now heading the Cincinnati program, and plus the other activities going. I'll be there, believe me. But I don't think guys like myself, as you can almost call me, even though I've coached for 40, 50 years, should be participating with the non-coach people, I think.
I
Let
see.
them go out there and do their thing. Let them, and I'll be there handing out those medals to them. Boom, 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 boom.
You're on the executive committee of the International Olympics,
Yes,
right? That keeps you busy and
Oh, yeah.
traveling quite a bit.
And I run clinics all over the world.
Do you really?
I've been such out places as Papua New Guinea, Samoa. We've been all through Africa, the underdeveloped countries, and I've done a lot of that. And all my vacation time is in international clinics. So I keep pretty busy.
Do you get results back from the clinics? Do people really keep on doing what you have
definitely.
taught them to do?
Yeah, the most important thing is we find, I don't care what sport you're coaching, is conditioning. 50, maybe even 75% of your abilities to do a good job. I don't even have to go win crazy and all that nonsense, but to do a good job and to satisfy yourself you've done a good job is conditioning. And I'd say when I run a clinic, 75% of my material and the information and the work we do right out there with these instructors is conditioning. That's the name of the game.
And that's what our participants are doing now.
Right
They're
now,
conditioning themselves.
Don't try to go into a race and say, I'm going to be instant champion. No such animal. You're going to be a champion because you're going to work at it. You're going to graduate yourself. You're going to graduate your skills. You're going to pick up your physical fitness. You're going to pick up your anaerobic abilities. You start out with nice, smooth aerobic exercises. Good warm-ups. That's the key. Don't ever let anybody suck you to go out, I don't care what the sport is, and go out there and go instant sport. Even a game as mild as tennis is pretty rough. I'm talking about golf. Warm it up first. Warm it up, and the most important thing is stretching. Stretch those Achilles tendons. Stretch those hamstrings. Stretch the gastrocnemius right in here. Get the good stretching, wide stretching, move, warm up, motivated. Then when you get out there, there won't be any injuries. So the key is good warm-ups, and then you go into your sport.
Warm up, time limit, 5, 10 minutes?
Well, it all depends on the individual and his conditioning. See, but the big thing is stretching. Don't take any muscle and go out and stretch it unless you've warmed it up. And you can get these tears. You get an Achilles tendon tear and forget it. For 6 months, you've had it. So let's not do that. Let's be sensible. Let's go out and warm up before. I've seen golfers go out there and take that boom, that hard swish, and all this, ooh, my shoulder, you know. They should have warmed it up, loosened it up, get all range of motion. ROM we used to teach, range of motion, get full range of motion and get it warmed up good, wear your sweats and so forth before you actually go out there and do the thing. Once you're warmed up, you're ready to go. And then graduate, build it up, time yourself. If you're running, if you're one of these track men, time yourself on the, see how you're improving each week. And you'll go to different quarters and different echelons, and soon you'll find you got a full stretch and a nice smooth action. And every great champion is smooth action, no matter what the sport is.
Could you just briefly mention a couple of the warm-up exercises? Like it's a stretching, you stretch your arms out, your legs.
On this 1 hour program, I'll demonstrate it.
Okay.
The whole works. Yeah, we'll demonstrate. It's just the object. What you've got to do, you've got to go for range of motion. Don't go up and start going, I'm going to touch my toes right now. Start out by gradually just dipping and dipping and stretching and back and dip. And then you can comfortably touch your toes. Don't start out, and the next thing you know, you've got a soreness in the muscle. You've got a tear in the muscle. Again, it's a gradual workup. And remember ROM, range of motion. Build to the range of motion. Don't try to get there in the first shot. The first of even coming out of the chair, you may want to come out gradual, and you may want to just sit down. You want to come out gradual, and pretty soon you can come right on up, nice and straight. And these are just simple exercises for anybody. Get it? Don't be a couch potato. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. As I say, I'm 75, and I work hard with my kids. I go out there, and I'm saying that the first 20 minutes I warm up with the athlete. I think it's doing me more good than the athlete, but it's doing it. We're both benefiting by the exercise before we really go into some hard-nosed bang, bang, and all this hard-nosed shot. You never start off boom, boom, home. So you start off nice and gradual and work it up. And get the respiratory workup. The whole thing builds up into a beautiful package. And believe me, you'll live 10 years longer. And of course, there's other basic health things I will say. If you smoke, give it up.
Right.
And I'm not against drinking, but gee, moderation. I personally don't drink, but I say moderation. That's the key.
Well, I know you're going to be a great help to all the participants this year. And just being there will give them the security they need. If you see anything wrong, or their training, or their clinics,
we'll
are you
help
doing?
them.
You're not doing any of the clinics. Are you doing any of their clinics?
Not to my knowledge, but I'll be glad to do some clinics for these people to get together and show them some scientific manners, good correct eating habits, good correct exercising habits.
We could make a program out of a clinic.
Oh, be delighted. Come down here anytime.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'll bring some of my kids down there with me, even from the university, and we'll go through some for the sedentary person, for the person who's moved up a little bit.
Fine. Thank you for being with us today and taking time out to come to have this interview so that we can show or have our viewers meet you along with the other coordinators of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to seeing you at all the events.
We'll be there.
Good. Thanks, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you.
Well, really, I'm sincere. Thank you all for taking the time to be here and explaining the Olympics and what's going to happen, what has happened, and Dr. Heimlich, all you are doing for everyone and with the other countries and our participants who will be bearing the torch and taking part in the events. You're all, each and every one of you, are an inspiration to everyone. And I know I am really excited about this year, and it gets exciting each year, more exciting. It doesn't seem possible. But again, my thanks, and I hope we can all see you back here next year.
Thank you.
And I thank you all at home. Remember, if you want to become a participant, you're going to call Margot Schwartz at Council on Aging. The number is 721-1025. We'll have that on the screen for you to copy down. Call before March 31st because that is the last day of registration. But for those of you who cannot get out of your homes, you can still be a part of Senior Olympics as a telephone volunteer or other ways, right, Margot? And call Margot and find out how you can help. Don't be left out because they need you. And you know, when you're needed, the feeling of loneliness kind of goes out the door. So join us, come and be a spectator on those events. They are exciting. Till next week, do take good care of yourself, and may God bless each of you. Charlotte Wilson.
This program was independently produced through Waycross Community Television, the access partnership of Forest Park, Green Hills, and Springfield Township with Warner Cable. Opinions expressed are those of the independent producer and do not necessarily represent the Community Programming Board, volunteers and staff of the Waycross Studio, the community governments, or the cable company. If you have questions regarding this program, or if you would like to participate in the activities of Waycross, call 825-2429.
Jill.
Welcome to Your Turn. Today on our senior profiles, we have Tad Atanovich, who has an interesting story to tell. And I know you'll learn a lot. Welcome, Tad.
Thank you very much. It's a little strange to be on this side of camera for a change.
You didn't give me a chance to tell them that you were on our production team. No. But your story is so interesting. And as you say, you have a lot to tell that people are just beginning to learn, really. You were born in Poland.
Right.
Uh-huh. And how do you have brothers and sisters or family there at all?
No, well, I don't really, not direct, is my nephews that are there now, but I still occasionally go back.
You do?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we were there 2 years ago, visited. My sister was still alive then, you know. She passed away since then, so I don't know, only have her son and his family now there. But it's interesting, you know, first of all, I think my main purpose is to tell the viewers little known facts about the World War II when it started in Poland.
Now let's, how old were you then?
I was 16 at the
16.
time. Yeah, I was born in 1923. That makes me 66-year-old this year. I don't feel it, but I guess what can you do? And so, as you know, the war in Europe came to Poland in 1939. 2 years before the Americans were involved. So, and those, some facts are very little known, and I think it would be a good opportunity to tell the viewers what it was like, how it affected the millions of Poles and other nationalities, including mine, how it got me out of the country, and I think fortunately later, you know, landed in the United States.
That would be interesting. You know, building up to how you got to the United States.
Right, because really the fate of others, I mean, I'm not the only one who followed that path.
Right.
There were others, you know, thousands, and they came to this country different ways. In 1939, to be exactly 1st of September, this year is will be 50th anniversary of the beginning of the war. And they're planning a lot of celebrations, whatever you might call it, and there's very little to celebrate. But
I was just thinking, it's strange to celebrate the beginning of
no,
a war.
I would say, you know, some kind of a commemorative
right.
services.
Like our Memorial Day.
Exactly. And when Poland was attacked, naturally was quickly overrun by the Nazi forces, which were much superior. Poland didn't have much chance, really, because Poland gained her independence in 1918. Before then, it was actually divided among 3 different countries for 150 years. So, and that was plundered, you know, by the occupiers. So it was really a fairly young country and poor country that took a while, you know, to really build up the industry and so forth. So Poland really didn't have much chance. On top of that, on September 17th, the Soviet troops entered Poland from the east. In other words, attacked. They had a previous agreement between Germany and Soviet Union that when the Germans will occupy half of Poland, the Soviets will march in from the east. And that was, of course, the stabbing, you know, sort of fact, you know, that didn't have to give the Poles any chance to fight anymore. They took a lot of prisoners of the war, and they, as a matter of fact, a very little known fact was that some officers, to be exactly, I think it's about 4,000 of them, were actually killed, slaughtered by the Russians, who later tried to blame that on the Germans. Of course, the mass grave was discovered by the Germans in '43, and so it was almost impossible. As a matter of fact, they had an international commission from Switzerland, and by the state of the bodies, it was decided, actually that the murder took place in beginning of 1940.
How awful.
So, and on top of that, now I was born in Vilna, which was then a Polish territory. Now it's part of the Soviet Union.
Oh, it is now?
Yes. Well, it's actually Lithuanian Republic. And because of the fact, actually, we were in a lucky position that when the Russians moved in September of 17 in our hometown, they soon gave the territory to the Lithuanians, who were then still an independent state. And that helped us, prevented from being deported. Now, usually, or soon after the occupation by the Russians from the east, they started deporting Polish intelligentsia and the important, so to speak, people who might be a threat to their system. And the deportations, matter of fact, my wife's family met that fate. They simply came at night and said, pack up whatever you can, loaded them in those cattle wagons, like, you maybe have seen it in Dr. Zhivago, there's 40 people, and just took, shipped them to Siberia.
That must have been.
As a matter of fact, out of 1.5 million of those people, I believe only 300,000 got out. They either starved to death or froze to death, whatever, because when they took them, unloaded them in Siberia, the way my wife described it, you had to find your own way to where to live and so forth. Some friendly people took them in, and then eventually built some barracks for them, but and they didn't get out till, not many of them actually got out because they were so far from nearest railway stations that they couldn't even get to the train. Now, that happened in 1941 when Soviet Union was attacked by the Germans. As you know, they actually, in spite of the treaty they had with the Russians, the Germans broke the treaty and actually attacked Soviet Union in 1941. Then, of course, the Russians became, allies and let these people go, so to speak. But where do you go? The only route was south to Iraq.
Now, were you in with this?
No. This is just the story of the people, like my wife's family, No, I stayed back in my hometown.
Because it was
at the time under Lithuania, yes. And that's what saved us from those deportations.
I see.
However, the Russians, only the Lithuanians only enjoy the freedom, so to speak, for 1 year, because in 1940, all 3 Baltic countries, which is Estonia, Lithuania, and Estonia, were annexed by the Soviets and became 3 Soviet republics against their own wishes, naturally. And then, 1940, where they let us alone, and only in June of 1941, 1 week before the German invasion, they started deportations from our town. But they didn't get many because a week later the Germans were walking into my hometown, and strangely enough, as it may seem, they were actually greeted as liberators. There were already some trains full of people ready to be shipped out, and the Germans liberated all these people. So you see, there was a big joy, and Nazis were very, welcome at the time. However, later on, I knew German because I had it at school, so I got a job at the radio station.
In your town?
In my hometown, yes. Now, at first, it started, I was a messenger boy. I was running around on a bicycle delivering messages to artists and so forth. And later on, since the Germans were being drafted into the army, I was promoted to be a chief cashier. Well, That unfortunately didn't last very long because one of the engineers, a Polish engineer at the radio station, was caught listening to London BBC broadcasts, which were absolutely forbidden.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, all the Polish staff were arrested.
Oh, and you were arrested?
And I was one of them.
Oh.
And sent to local prison.
Oh, my.
And that was in October 1943.
Uh-huh.
So there was no trial, there was no sentence, and I sat there in that cell till March 1943.
3 months? You were
About 6 months.
How was it in their prisons? I mean, were you treated humanely, or was it pretty
Actually,
bad?
I was interrogated. Actually, they tried to naturally, implicate that I was, participating in underground, and they asked me. So one interrogation, I got beaten up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to find out where this underground station was and so forth. Well, I didn't know anything about it, so they let me, alone. But I just sat there,
You mean they believed you?
They must have. They must have, because
That's amazing, because they usually, will just keep beating you until you're dead if you don't come
That's
out
true.
with what they want to
think
hear.
I'm not sure, but I think my German director from the radio, he was a rather influential man, and I think I heard later on that he spoke well of me, and that helped me, I guess.
I should say.
But then.
But in jail, were you fed properly?
No,
or just
well, I was allowed parcels from home.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the food in prison, of course, was one what they called Wassersuppe, or water soup. Made, and in the morning they give you some coffee, which wasn't, some kind of might call it. It wasn't really coffee, it was burned corn or something like that. It's just the color of coffee, So all you had that, but like I said, I wasn't too badly off because my family was able to send me some, which I shared. There were 4 of us in a cell, and I had, naturally, you don't get a parcel and sit in a corner and eat yourself.
Right.
That would be very unneighborly, sort of, and so we always shared with others who were not from local, not from the local place, and they weren't getting anything. So then we sat there till March, and then at night they came and said, "Well, get your things together." I didn't know where we're going. They put us in one of those cattle wagons, and I knew later on we're going west. That was a good sign.
Oh, was it?
Yes, because we couldn't move during the day because of the bombings. We sat there on the sidelines, and then at night the train would move. But judging by what I could see from the wagons, by the names, it was all destroyed German towns, bombed out. But some of them had names on the railway station. So I was afraid that we might be sent maybe, to the east, because a lot of my countrymen were actually drafted to some kind of a helping German army, transporting ammunition and so forth. And of course, everybody dreaded the East Front. But we were fortunately going west, and eventually landed in Normandy. Later, it was found out that it was about 12 miles from the Omaha beach where the landing took place.
Oh.
But I think I'm getting a little ahead of the story. I think we should go back maybe to the fact that what was going on in Europe and in 1939. So we'll continue with my story later. Then, of course, when Poland was divided between the Soviet Union and Germany, the actual as I say, deportation. We took part in the eastern part, and Germans, of course, also were doing their job. I mean, you know, exterminating Jews, and a lot of, out of those 6 millions, actually, maybe little known fact is that many Poles and other nationalities were included. Actually, any political problems, any political, I would say, you know, things that they didn't like, they would, you know, wind up with in the chamber. But so again on the Russian side, of course, deportations took place. 1.5 million people were actually sent to Siberia in different country. You know, they would eventually, in '41, when Russia was attacked by the Germans, they signed a pact, and they let those people go. Now, the problem was that many of them in Siberia and other parts of Soviet Union were so far from the railway station that they couldn't even if they wanted to. Like in my case of my wife's family, they sold everything that they had. They rented a sleigh and a horse, and at night, they would go and cover 300 miles in about a week or so, and then they all landed in Iraq, which was then under the British protectorate. Okay, now once they were out in the south, the men joined the Polish army, and women and children had a choice whether to be sent to India, to a refugee camp, or to Mexico. Mexico agreed to accept some of these people. Of course, they were so far away. So my wife's mother decided for India, and so they spent about 5 years in India in that labor camp, which was then, remember, it was still under British rule. So that's why they could do it. Men later joined the Polish army and then fought in Italy as a second corps. As a matter of fact, and they fought in Monte Cassino, which we mentioned later about my trip that I went there to commemorate the Battle of Monte Cassino 45 years ago.
So where were you now?
Now, by then, I was in that labor camp in France.
That was very bad, wasn't it?
Labor camp was not a concentration camp.
Oh, okay.
Labor camp, actually, what it implies, it means that we were taken every morning to work, and what we eventually found out later on, what we were making those V1 bombs launchers. Those bombs were, the type that they later sent against Britain and London. It was like, sometimes they call them buzz bombs. It was like a rocket. They would fuel it and just put enough fuel for them to reach London, and then the fuel would be exhausted and the bomb dropped on the town.
So you didn't realize that that's what you were
Not really, because we were only pouring cement. By the way, most of my hair that I lost was there because we were carrying those bags of cement, and of course all the dust settled on your hair, and then it would rain, and would actually be a stiff hair, all over, and we didn't have good facilities. The only facilities for washing was a stream, cold stream, so the hygienic actually conditions were very, very appalling. But we were not mistreated. You had to walk most of the time 5 miles to work, and 5 miles back, and
You walked 5 miles?
Yes. And then they would feed you again once a day. You had allowed 100 grams of black bread and a slice of margarine and one plate of soup.
No meat?
No meat.
Vegetables either?
Well, vegetables were in the soup.
Were in the soup.
That's about the only thing. But me knowing German helped a lot, because I was made a little like a supervisor of a group consisting of gypsies and different nationalities who were in that camp. And that gave me the privilege to go with a guard to French farmers and get some beg for some food. So every day I came with some eggs, with some butter, with it, and then of course divided among the people in my group. So that helped a lot. Plus before I left, my family put some coffee, real coffee, in my, and I bribed the commandant with the coffee, so we had a little bit better. In my contacts with the French farmers, I made some contacts there, and with the French underground, who, my French was very limited, but I could finally have them agree to give me false papers that I would be, one day I would fail to come back from my lunch hour, and they would actually help me to get to Spain, and then through Spain to Great Britain. Fortunately, maybe, or unfortunately, I don't know, but the invasion actually took place before the whole thing realized. So here I am now in that labor camp in France, and here comes June 1944, the famous invasion. We knew something was going on because that night there were planes all over, flying back and forth. And the next morning, we're marching to work and see those all colorful, the actual, different groups of strange-looking army, in the different, actually, and they were Canadians who were dropped, to diversify, from actual landing. So they took us to the place to work, but we didn't do anything, and then let us leave early back to the camp. We saw Germans were very concerned, Actually, the guards were mostly old people, Austrians, who couldn't care less, really, whether we escape or not. So that night, me and 8 others took off and hid in the farmer's haystack.
Wow. Weren't you frightened? I mean, if
Actually, we were a little bit drunk that night, to tell
were
you the
you?
truth, because we had some pigs in a camp that we gave them to the French, and they gave us some Calvados. Now, Calvados is like one made from cider. It's a very strong. So with the empty stomachs, a few drinks of that. So we were really a lot of courage, from that.
That gave you the courage.
Right. But then, so we stayed there in that haystack for a few days. At night, the farmer would bring us some food. They were really good. Of course, I knew them, from my trips, And then one day we looked out and we saw a big cigarette butt on the road. Conclusion, it's not German, because Germans were always short on cigarettes and never would throw a long butt on the road, so it must be Americans. So we came out, and sure enough, in that village there was a lot of American soldiers. Some of them were of Polish background. We spoke to them, and they didn't know what to do with us. Eventually, he says, "What do you want to do?" Well, we would like to go to England and join the Polish army there. So after 2 weeks, the opportunity came, and they shipped us to Southampton and to London. Eventually, I joined the Polish army and was stationed in Scotland. They sent me to school, since I had high school education. Actually, they sent me to an officer's school, and by the time they trained me to be a soldier, the war was over. So I came really without a scratch. I was very, very lucky. And then, of course, the war was over, and decision to be made whether to go back to Poland or not.
Well,
Well,
what did you decide?
For me, decision was easy. My parents were not longer alive. My sister, I don't know where she was. I had Russians for 1 year, and I know what it was like. So there's no way I'm going. So.
But you met your wife in England while you were there?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, later on, of course, then we were, I managed to get into college. And
in England?
In England. And the government paid this like a GI Bill.
Right.
Since, you know, so I got my degree in chemistry from the University of Manchester. And was working in Manchester, and then where I met my wife there. And we got married in '54. And naturally, you know, if everybody dream was to get to the gold-paved United States. But the problem was that the quotas were very limited. The Polish quota was only 6,000 a year, which means only 6,000 of Polish origin could be allowed to get to the United States. But fortunately, the Congress passed a special bill for Polish ex-servicemen, and we got in here, came to Cincinnati, for all the places because of Procter & Gamble. I was promised the interview, and from there on it's all history, and we lived happily ever after.
When were you naturalized?
We were naturalized in '63.
'63.
Right, and I must say, I'm very proud to be American, very happy to be in this country since we couldn't go back to my own. This was really the next best thing I could ever choose.
You know, in hearing stories such as yours and the horrors that went on, you know, from these madmen, if more Americans would really listen to people like you and listen to what went on and what is still going on today, I would think maybe, hopefully, they would respect the country and, you know, America.
Geography and history is not the strongest subjects, I understand, in American schools.
Yeah.
People, you know, ask even, you know, simple questions, you know. And that wasn't really the United States. I remember back in '48, I was still in England. Some people didn't know where Berlin was. I mean, in Germany, after hearing all this, you know, stories. We were talking about airlift, you know. Remember when they refused the ground transportation, and Americans were flying in. Another thing is that always, you know, I just came back from a trip, and I hate to hear anybody say anything about the Americans in the United States. I mean, don't these people realize if it wasn't for this country, they would be still under German or Nazi occupation?
Yes.
Let's face it. I mean, the things weren't doing so well. I mean, in Europe, till actually the United States stepped in. I mean, Russia was almost on their knees. I mean, they were out of food. I mean, they would, all the shipments of American, you know, conserves and cans, what they would do, they would change the labels and put Russian labels on it so their people wouldn't know that this came from America.
Their people really still don't know what's going on.
No,
really,
Stalin days. Now, in 1944, Warsaw Uprising, you know, the Polish underground came to and started fighting Germans, and Allied planes wanted to send help to Warsaw, drop some supplies, but they couldn't go fly there and back again in one time. They had to land. And the Russians were already on other bank of Vistula. They would not let them land for supplies and for refueling. So you see, there is another struggle because there was two governments, one Polish government in London and one, of course, in Poland, which was communistic. And they wanted this underground was under the London government, and they want them all exterminated so they wouldn't have any opposition later on. That's why they didn't help Warsaw.
You know, that's what I was saying. If people today would only appreciate America and take care of it, they're destroying it. Greed and, you know, carelessness.
Exactly.
They think it'll last forever, but it won't. And how they're being taken over, you know, it's doesn't look like a very pretty picture.
Exactly.
But now, tell our viewers about your recent trip and the anniversary.
Okay, now, as I told you before, the Polish troops, the Second Corps, fought with, along with Americans and British and other nationalities in Italy. In order to get to Rome, they had to pass one road which led to Rome from the south. In the way of that progress stood Monte Cassino, which was a high hill, and Germans built terrific fortifications there.
On top
The
of
bunkers,
the,
yes. On top of the hill is a monastery, was a monastery. But they built all around it, so any movement on that road was completely destroyed.
Oh my.
And that went for about 6 months. They started the offensive in January 1944. And they all tried to take that hill with many losses. Finally, on May 18th, 1944, the Poles went and took the hill.
Oh.
And stuck the Polish flag on top of the thing. So the reason I went with a group from Chicago, of course I didn't participate in that, but I had a chance to go with them, with those who did survive and wanted to go back and commemorate the 45th. There were 3 very large Polish cemeteries. Actually, Poles suffered 3,000 killed on that charge, but along with the British and so forth. So it was very touching ceremony there, and I'm glad I really, took part in it.
Now, did the Pope take part in this, or
the Pope,
just
he did
special
not.
audience?
We had Joseph Glemp, who is the Archbishop of Poland. He came out and celebrated Mass close to the cemetery, Polish cemetery there. However, later, the next day, we had an audience with the Pope in Rome, in Vatican. And of course, there were only for those, it wasn't general. I mean, the general is on Wednesday, they usually audience, they have. We had our special for us, so we could very get close to the father. I saw him rather maybe tired looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but maybe it was just the lights, but it was delightful.
Did he comment on the
yes.
anniversary?
Oh, yes. He had. We had still a general who actually commanded the attack. He's about 89 old.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
And he came and fell on his knees in front of the Pope, and they embraced, and the Pope then Father had a speech in Polish to all of us there.
Oh, how wonderful.
So it was, next time I'll bring some pictures, I'll show you.
Very touching ceremony.
Absolutely, yes.
And to think a survivor, 89 years old, was there.
Yeah, he could, he had to walk with a stick, but he fought himself, on his knees, and of course, Father ran to him and lifted him up, and embraced him very nice.
Oh, what a sad story.
Yeah.
What, what terrible memories that man must have.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we were fortunate in...
Well, excuse me for interrupting, but one thing I want to add, that all these efforts, all this were for nothing, because Poland was not free after all this. Now things are getting better now, I think, I hope.
With Walesa?
With Walesa, the roundtable discussions, and they're going to actually have, the free elections, so-called free elections. So
Are they now?
The parliament will consist, the communists guaranteed themselves 60% majority, but they'll be independents, 40% will be independent people that might have some input on what's going on in the country.
Is there any way the Polish people, well, they're Americanists now, but I mean of Polish descent, are helping people over there?
Financially.
Financially?
Yes. First of all, there were shortage of medical supplies. They send them a lot of that. Now they sending money to help, the election, pre-election, campaign and so forth. So definitely, I think that's about the only way they can help, actually, by sending money over there.
I see. Well, Tad, this was a very, very interesting story, and I certainly appreciate your sharing it with our viewers. What so many people went through is not known, as you said earlier, and if people could only realize, if people would only read one story about the things that people went through, well, even our boys who fought for our country in World War II, and the Vietnamese, the Vietnam War and Korean War. You know what, our boys over there fighting for the word freedom, which means so much.
Exactly.
You know, and as you said, Poland is still not free. They're still fighting to become free.
Exactly.
And they're so limited, and like I say, I'm very happy that you told this story, and we certainly...
Considering the fate of others, I consider myself very lucky the way, although I maybe suffer a little bit, but nothing compared with those who were sent to Siberia and other places.
But you know, you saw the suffering, and that has been imprinted on your mind, in your heart.
Absolutely.
And you can't erase that, you know, seeing all those people suffer. Like the Russians, the Ukrainians, you know, the false famine, 9 million of them.
Absolutely.
They starved 9 million people, and that just is coming out. I mean, not everyone knows about that.
The system was just...
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just 9 million
One
people.
man, like Stalin, could procure all this.
I know, it's just... It's horrible. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you and your wife are here. And we certainly thank you for your story. And thank you for your help on your turn, because you took your turn to be on your turn. And this was great.
Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you.
It's hard to say anything after a story like that. Thinking about the people that suffered and our own boys during the war, all we can do is pray and ask that those who are still surviving not suffer any longer. They've had it. Until we meet again, do take good care of yourself, and may God bless each of you. Charlotte Wilson.
Set furnishings provided courtesy of Globe Furniture Rentals, 1925 Greenwood Avenue and 1650 Central Parkway, Cincinnati, Ohio. This is a production of Waycross Community Television, the cable partnership of Forest Park, Green Hills, and Springfield Township with Warner Cable. Opinions are those of the program participants and in no way represent the community governments or the cable company. If you have questions regarding this program, or if you would like to participate in the activities of Waycross TV, you may call 825-2429 or write Waycross Community Television, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio, 45240.